Yeah. The problem is there's so much shit John Bernthal Punisher that it's like at this point it's difficult to even
Yeah,
consider him to be a good one.
yeah. No, no,
Um,
you're right. They've with the various different portrayals across his various different appearances. Yeah, they have weakened him massively before even the Flanderization in this movie. Because this movie, man, Punisher in this movie, he may as well not be in this movie.
well,
Like he is so ineffective that he may as well not be there.
and the
I
one
think the I
moment,
think the most I think the most plot affecting thing he does, other than sheltering MJ, is he briefly distracts Banner Hulk.
yeah.
Well, no, he also blows open the vault thing.
No,
Um,
that's Gene.
Yeah, well, that's against his
oh, okay,
will.
yeah, fair enough, fair
Yeah,
enough.
that's
Yeah.
just his body. That's his puppet. But
Like I genuinely think the most impactful thing he does, other than sheltering MJ, is actually distracting Re-Hulk.
yeah, and they keep doing this thing with him. They did it in Born Again as well, but they do it in this film where they pretend that they care about his backstory and his underlying motivation with a
Oh
really
yeah, no,
they
Frank's
pay
family is sacred because he forces her to close the cupboard. Fuck off.
yeah, they pay
Oh
such
god.
minimal lip service to it, but they even have a conversation which I remember as soon as I watched this for the first time, I thought, "Fuck you for like not giving me more than 2 seconds of this conversation."
But
When
it's so high school as well, isn't it? Though it's like it's the equivalent of you can't see the photo of my crush in my locker. Like, what
yeah,
the
but
fuck are
this
you
is even after
doing?
that. They pretend that they want to go even further when Peter is arguing with him after he's I think he's reading the letter on the like the table in Frank's kitchen sort of thing, and and Frank goes into this kind of it looks like it's about to be a monologue where he starts saying like you think this is a lifestyle choice, this is a sentence that my what I'm living right now is.
I actually like that line.
I love the line, yeah, but
I
it's
actually
one
like that
line,
line.
and he begins to talk, and then Peter gets a little notification on his laptop, and it's like, oh, they've seen Gene on one of the cameras. I have to go. See you later. And it's like,
Yeah,
fucking
no,
hell, we were about to.
we can't have any characterization of the man who happily walks around shooting people in the face.
Yeah, it's a fucking disgrace. How?
Do you want to know the one that really pissed me off?
Yeah.
Gene taking over his body, seeing what's in his head, and the reaction
Oh,
is, "Whoa, this guy's got issues." It's
yeah.
like, no, fuck off. If you were a teenager, no matter how much shit you've been through, you
Wait,
jump into
hang on,
Punish's
hang
head,
on, hang on,
Punish's head like that. Hmm?
hang on a second. I think I misread that scene altogether. You're saying that was Gene in Punisher's body talking about Punisher.
That's clearly what it is. It's she
I
says this
thought
guy's got issues.
I thought that was Gene in Punisher's body talking about Hulk.
Oh no, I think
No,
it's
no,
I
she's jumped out
yeah
of God by that point.
yeah. She
No, but
jumps into Frank's head.
I thought it was her in Frank talking about Bruce.
No,
No,
I think she's talking about
well,
Frank.
I might have to rewatch that scene, but yeah, I'm, like it's Frank. It's got to be like
Yeah, she jumps into his
Well, I
head and
mean, in
if
fairness,
the
I'm not trying to defend my own point here, but I think it's kind of equally applicable to both in that
oh yeah
scene.
oh
To be
yes.
fair,
right,
If regardless who she's
they
talking about,
definitely
it's
both have
pathetic.
issues.
Yeah.
but my point is that like she jumps into Frank. That's her reaction. Not what the fuck.
Yeah.
Like I need to get out of this
Yeah,
body.
yeah. This is why I said I
You,
said this in.
you,
Yeah, I said
Well,
this in
I don't think she ever has the impulse to get out of body. The
but
implication the movie seems to give is that when Jean is in the body, she has access to all of the memories and skills of the personality that actually owns it.
but do you
That
not think she
seems
should, especially
actually
if
wait, no, actually wait, hang on. Yeah, 1 second, Shame. Sorry.
no, it's fine.
Actually, I might be wrong about that. I might be wrong about that because the tank stealing scene, when Peter pulls the old woman out, he's talked to by a cop afterwards who says that they identify the driver, being the old woman, as a janitor in the facility who
Yeah,
stole the tank.
Yeah.
So a janitor would not know, like an old woman janitor, like maybe she would, maybe she's somehow like just this absolute military tech nerd. It is entirely possible. God knows I have my own odd nerddoms. I'm not going to rule it out. It does seem incredibly unlikely.
yeah. Well, but this is the thing.
Like
So
this 60-year-old woman just happens to be a massive tank nerd and also the janitor on a military base where they store tanks and APCs. Okay, sure, maybe I don't know.
it's just that's the
But
problem.
that seems to contradict Jean having the skills of whatever the personality she's in. Sorry, whatever body she's in. Like if she jumps into body A, who is a pro tennis player, right? She can impersonate that person perfectly. That's what the movie shows us. So she gains the skills of that body, of the personality that owns that body, right? You guys with me?
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. I think so.
Okay. So if that's the case, does she retain learn skills in her own mind.
Yeah, this is the
Because
problem.
if she
This is-
does, that explains Janitor Lady being able to drive and expertly fire the weapons on a military vehicle.
I think
But
potentially.
if she doesn't, then that fucks that initial scene completely.
Yeah, I think potentially you could maybe get away with saying she can retain any kind of intellectual knowledge that a previous person had when she jumped into their body, but I'm not sure about like muscle memory,
Man, there
physical.
has to be a limit on that though. Like imagine the amount of people she's jumped through. Not to
Oh
mention
yeah, she would have the most insane
she
memory.
possessed Bruce Banner. She would be so unbelievably fucking clever right now.
Yeah.
I can point to one thing that I thought of that that proves. Well, I'll say
Actually,
proves.
wait. It can't work that way. It can't
Oh,
work that
no,
way.
yeah,
If it
sorry.
if it worked that way, she'd be able to disable the inhibitor straight away.
Yeah, no, sorry, I don't mean intellectual knowledge as in like she gains the IQ of the person she jumped into. I mean more
The retained
maybe
knowledge.
information.
No, that's
like I mean
yeah. No,
sort of
that's what I thought. That's what
yeah.
I thought you meant.
Okay, yeah.
So
But
If-
it can't be that way because if she retained Banner's knowledge, she'd be able to disable Peter's inhibitor.
also,
if
like,
she can make
jumps
heads or
into
tails
Frank.
of it, maybe, yeah. But I'm not sure. That depends.
Well,
You know.
Banner built his own.
Yeah, but just because she has
Like, of
the
course, he'd be
information-
able. Like, he doesn't have to be able to control Peter's, but he would certainly be able to work out the on and off switch, right?
I suppose so. Yeah.
So
She jump.
there's no way she actually retains. Yeah, I don't think she can. I don't think she can retain skill.
Well, maybe if I put it this way, maybe like I suppose I would imagine that if she jumps into someone's body and then jumps out again, let's say she jumps into person A and then jumps to person B, I would imagine she could still remember, for example, the birthday of person A and like the name of person A's mum.
Oh yeah,
or
no,
whatever.
I can see that certain facts, yeah, but like, okay, let's go more direct. So for the sake of argument, let's imagine there are three people in a row, right?
Yeah.
First person is Stephen Hawking. Second person is I don't know, Serena Williams. Fuck it, why not? And the third person is David Beckham. Fuck it, literally doesn't matter.
Yep.
So if she jumps into Stephen Hawking, she has access to all of his knowledge and ability of how to apply that knowledge, right? That is what the movie shows us with what she does in certain scenarios. I'm being careful with my wording there. So, suppose she then jumps from Hawking into who did I say? Serena Williams.
Serena Williams.
So she then jumps from Hawking into Serena Williams. While she is possessing Serena Williams, are we to assume that she retains the memories and knowledge of Hawking?
Well,
Because I don't think I don't think that's possible from what the movie shows us.
Yeah.
Because if that was if that was possible, she would be effectively the mind version of Gaia. She would just have all the knowledge and all the skills.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure at what point she stops retaining things. Because, like I said, if she can
Actually,
remember...
wait, she did briefly possess Peter, so at that point she would have his
She-
reflexes at least, if nothing else.
She possessed Punisher, who has like proper special forces training.
Yeah,
So,
expansive military knowledge.
She
Yeah.
does that.
Oh no,
to-
Frank is comic special forces. Like it's more silly than normal special forces, and
Like,
they are
she-
plenty silly to begin with.
They should not be able to have contained her at the end if she was retaining Punisher's knowledge.
Well, you can see why they downpowered her, because if this was Jean at normal Jean level powers, forget Phoenix, you couldn't. Like, it doesn't work. Doesn't work. You can't do it.
But this is
Jean
the
could
problem
possess
with...
Jean could possess anyone across the entire city by thinking about it from miles away, potentially hundreds of miles away, and that again is without Phoenix or Cerebro. Like Jean is silly.
Well, this is why I think the point about Punisher, when she jumps into Punisher's mind, I think it's absolutely, we can confirm, due to her reaction when she does jump into his mind, that assuming she is talking about himself when she says this guy's got issues, I think I consider that to
No,
be
I'll concede that point to you guys quite happily. I had always taken it to be she meant it was her observation through Frank's eyes about Bruce.
that's but it would apply still, but assuming she is talking about Frank.
Wouldn't the line then be that guy has issues?
I don't know, man. If you're in the middle of a fight scene, I feel like, would you say this guy, that guy? That one I'm reasonably willing to hand wave away, but like I said, I'm not married to it. It's just.
But let's assume.
My point was,
I just read it a bit differently. That's all.
But let's assume that it is Frank she's talking about, right? And then she reacts in that way. So she says, "This guy's got issues." That is as far as I can tell, that is a reaction to the psyche of the man she's jumped into in an immediate sense. So she's like jumped into his head and then immediately been hit with all this kind of trauma and PTSD and all that
Well,
sort of shit, right? So she obviously
now that
does
you say
feel,
that,
yeah.
that's odd because if it is about Frank, and again, I'm perfectly willing to concede that it is, but if it is about Frank, she doesn't have that reaction for literally anybody else in the movie.
But this is why it's an issue, because it's like,
Yeah.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Like, shouldn't the occasional normal people just be like severely fucked up enough for her to go, damn?
yeah,
Look,
absolutely.
if she makes the acknowledgement for Frank, all I'm saying is you would
Oh
think
god,
now
that's
and you would think now and again the odd person on the street with a happy smile on their face could probably also be, I'm not saying Punisher level of fucked up, obviously, but like it seems an odd acknowledgement to make for one person who is just a human person.
this is one level of invasion of privacy away from being the memory store from Multiverse of
Yeah,
Madness.
yeah.
Oh no, Ark, this is worse. This is way worse.
I
The
don't know if I go
memories
that far.
the memories okay, no, okay, hear me out, right? The memory store is effectively a TV doing it, right? It is impersonal, it is impartial, it has no feelings whatsoever, it has no agenda whatsoever. There is technically no hijacking of agency either. In that world, it is apparently a normal thing. You walk by, you stand in the right place, and it will play a memory. Perhaps, we don't know the mechanics. We still don't. I'm not going to be an asshole about it. Perhaps it is a memory that you have some control over. Perhaps it's subconscious. We don't know. That's fine. That's how that works. Jean directly rapes your mind and takes control of your body and personality. It is way worse than Memory Store.
I think it's worse. But the only thing I would say in favor, weirdly, perversely, in favor of the memory store being worse, is the idea that anybody walking by on the street can just see whatever is going on in your head.
Yeah, no, that is
That is-
abhorrent. Like that is inexcusably wrong. I have no idea what anyone was thinking with that. Except, oh wait, I do. Because thankfully, or unhappily, depending on your perspective, I saw a whole load of videos that discuss this. And a certain, and again, for the second time tonight, I have to say, I really hope you guys can hear the heavy, heavy air quotes on this one. But a certain writer is on record as saying, oh yeah, that was just me not knowing what to do with the script.